Yo, how's it going, guys? Let me get the chat up so I can see it. Yeah, so how's everybody doing? Thanks, Diego. I want to talk about some things. I actually have a plan for today. It's live stream, and then I guess we can chat after. I was trying to give some time for people to show up. Well, all these tabs I go through. What's up, Clear Rule? Yeah, I want to make sure I cover everything before I get distracted. Resistance Rabbit in the house. I hope you guys read his article. It says paid at the top, but it's mostly all free, so I hope that didn't stop you guys from reading it. Alright. I'm gonna turn down the music even more. I'm gonna start talking about... This is the survey I sent out a while ago. Only 70 people answered. But still, and look how bugged the Substack is. But still, I can tell that most people, what they want, real answers to things, is pretty much what this means. But this is why I brought here the one heavy hitter. Most people wanted one article a week. The volume's been crazy. I put out too many articles, I guess. Makes sense. And I'm okay with doing one article a week. So basically, I'm going to use it as an opportunity to really turn up the production quality. So I've done the videos were new, and it was kind of rushed, okay? So like draft written. It's not complete for the finale, and it's a lot of research, and I'm going to go over that with you guys right now. Talk about what the War on Illusion was supposed to do and what I hope it did. All right, like I even took notes. I'm taking it seriously. But yeah, basically. Oh no, if my stream's crash, I hope my stream's not crashing. All right, it's back up. Anyway, yeah. So the illusion index, the first one, basically we were talking about the vertical glitch, which is my idea that there are really obvious things that we could call besides the culture war, right? That we should all agree on. It's honestly very scary. I don't know why it's not treated. Well, I kind of do know why it's not treated with this such level of like severity. It's because we're about to go over. It's a bipartisan effort. So did people read episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I hope so. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So, okay. So basically, I'd say that what I was talking about in War of Illusion episodes 1 through 6, I was talking about the prison, like the walls. I didn't mention anything about their end goal or the solutions. And I'm not going to promise you now that I have big solutions, but I definitely have something here at the end. But the idea is they're turning everything into a subscription model. Everything we went over so far in each episode. So like in episode 2, we talked about the housing industry. I can go back. I guess I should brought every episode up. Yeah, so how they turned your home into a subscription service. And then I have research papers too. That's why. Oh, that's why I was confused. I was supposed to bring this up. Sorry if you guys are lost. The point I'm trying to make here is that all of these episodes come together to a greater theory, okay? So it really does set me up for a big forensic deep dive, and it's kind of, I'm going to be connecting a lot of dots that are public information, but I'm hoping that I can really solidify an idea that hasn't really pierced mainstream political thought. And I know people have talked about the subscription model before, but we don't talk about it nearly as much as like an existential threat. We talk about it more like it's an inconvenience. I'm not going to go straight. Yeah, so after the housing industry, we were talking about food. Food was episode 3. So you're like, oh yeah, I've heard about the food subscription models or whatever, where I forget what it's called, but you can get food in the mail. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that there's copyrights on seeds, and to the point where if a seed becomes very efficient, it becomes bought by only one company. One company can use it, and then they charge. Honestly, the details are pretty convoluted, and I didn't get into it enough in episode 3, so that's why I'm going to be bringing it back up into the subscription theory, because I think in the episode 3 I did. The subscription theory was there, but it was never the main focus. Yeah, how they turned starvation into a stock buy. Focusing on how it made them rich, not necessarily how. But if you're wondering how it's like patenting seeds like a subscription model, oh, it's because they get to control the price, and there's no other suppliers, right? Because that basically legalizes a monopoly. If you can say you invented X product and that you can have the only rights. So that's the argument that we're going to do, I think. So then the next part of the series, episode 4, was about electricity. I lost my place in my notes, so I started rambling. Oh yeah, you guys have heard of product as a service, right? It's like the circular economy. Oh, I wish I brought on Steel Spark. He's one of my people in my audience. I call him a founding investor. He's bought the founding investor plan, and he actually cares a lot about this project. He has some really good ideas, so I want him to start lighting. He's seen it a lot, but there's a lot of product as a service models going on, and the idea that I'm going to try to prove is that ownership is leakage of value to them. All their choices that they make are based around the idea that you shouldn't be owning anything because that is an opportunity that they are losing to make money. It's supposed to be usership, reality, ownership. Yeah, the circular economy as a Trojan horse for asset control. So they'll try to justify it as a circular economy. That's the point. Oh, this is a lot of mumbo jumbo, and I'm gonna have to read through it and learn too. That's why this is fun, because by Friday you're gonna have a nice, easy way to bite this, and it'll be exciting to go through. The genome revolution. Oh yeah, if you guys saw the healthcare episode 5, that one did really good. People really liked that one. Where is it? Let's see if I can find the exact quote. This one's shocking. This is in an official Goldman Sachs report. I want to see exactly what report it is, so I don't. Oh, it's just a research note, so it wasn't even meant for anybody to see it. It's curing patients a sustainable business. It's the people we're dealing with. And it's the idea that this is an investor. This is a bank that's asking these questions. What freaking business do they have in healthcare? And I'm just curious. I just want to Google this to see how much people talk about this. Okay, good. It is everything. Even the AI is just like, nope. Communications. So this adds to the subscription model because they just want your life to be something you have to pay to have. The idea that they don't want to cure it, they just want to treat it, right? So I'm not saying the scientists are like this. This is the investors, uh, and I got some fringe researchers who are just in it for the money. I keep getting carried away and off script. I'm supposed to be on script because this is. I want you guys to get used to like a little bit of organization here. I'm pretty off the cuff mostly. I'm intentionally not looking at the chat right now because I have things I want to talk about, tell you guys that I think are important for the future of this publication and also for you guys to understand what I've been trying to teach you lately. Yeah, I wish I had my new PC. Whatever processing issues are going on, if I'm crashing sometimes, it's probably because of that. In fact, I'm going to make sure I haven't crashed. Okay, yeah, I'm still alive. Frozen screen just crashed. Yeah, I think that has to do with my PC. I'm getting a new one soon. Sorry. Anyway, let's see. So we talked about episodes 1 through 5. I talked about how healthcare, food, we've got electric, and housing, and how they're all trying to make it so you can't own anything, and you'll always be paying as much as they want for these basic necessities. And in each article that we had so far, I talked about how it was bipartisan, a bipartisan effort where they had different roles to play, but both roles helped the conglomerates. So episode 6 was the most recent one, and that's the banking industry. These are the guys who literally don't do anything except for keep track of money. Then they fuck up with investments, and then they need to get bailed out. You know what I mean? I talked about how they've taken over they've created a new industry. Uh, it's not debt, it's called credit. It's way different at the end of the day. By the way they track it, the FICO score wants you to take on a load to even build a score. So that means it's got to be different than debt. At this point, we're talking about abstract things, and every day we're treating it like normal. So they've taken control of our imagination and ran with it. Kind of what I focused on in that article. But it's a little bit more scary than where is that? Sovereignty. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, it's a complicated idea, but it has to do with the things like interest rates and the risks that these banks take and are unwilling to take. I'm learning a lot about this one still. I probably should have talked a little bit about it more in the episode, but I didn't fully wrap my head around it. I have to study it more. But basically, it helps give a reason and an incentive for why the banks are complicit in making a intentional transfer of wealth. It's just about some better business model. Yeah. See, I'm not quite done yet with the article, but it's going to be a wrap up, basically talking about how ownership is turning into usership. And it wraps back around to the idea that linguistics are all part of this too. The words we use is part of how they can control how we react. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people think the people who supported Biden are crazy and off their gourd. And the other half of people think Trump's crazy off their gourd. Somebody's delusional, right? Not necessarily. Maybe everybody's escaping to an ideal place in their head. That isn't correct, but they're trying to escape because the way that they've taken control of the language we use in the world we're in, dealing with reality is hard. And it's a lot easier just to have something to cling to. So these ideas are important, but you have to grasp them all together, I think. The shadow arc talks about like the motives for these people. Why are they so cruel? Is it evil? Is it a cabal? I don't think so, but there's definitely a group of people who have a tangible motive for all this. I highly suggest you read episode 7 of the Shadow Arc if you haven't. On my homepage, you go to Shadow Arc at the top, and it's the last one. And basically, I talk about Tescriel and the transhumanist agenda, and it sounds like sci-fi. But there are billionaires on the record who are making more and more money every day and making investments in things that sound absolutely ridiculous, like life extension technology and AI brain chips that actually make it so you can think harder or faster. And there's proofs to show that they're working and giving advantages to people, even though the advantages are not quite where they could be. But technology is accelerating at a huge rate. So you take these transhumanist ideas and you mix it with the idea of technological acceleration. These people think right now is the prime time to buy in and make us feel like we're unneeded. Because the transhumanist agenda doesn't take into consideration normal people. It takes into consideration the people who can afford the technology. So take this for instance. All the people, while technology expands the poorer people, the working class people, like we've said before, the AI replacing a lot of jobs, not all of them, but a lot of jobs, robots too, all that. Um, there's two things that can happen. One is we all profit a little bit off of the AI's workforce because the AI is trained on ideas that humanity's made in the past, and that's a philosophical idea that as our jobs get replaced by AI, we're supposed to be getting some sort of income compensation for that information that our race has done. And it's also it's we know it's not the right necessarily to have the companies just profit from all this replacement of labor where they used to have to pay wages for these robots that were trained off of humans. And people like to say that's stolen information, but that's not what these people are thinking. They're thinking that as the AI replace us, we literally become irrelevant and there's less reasons to consider us in the future. So this means as the climate gets worse, and the climate is a topic that I try really hard to take seriously. I discussed it a lot in the Illusion Index. It's something that billionaires have taken advantage of, obfuscating. So there's might be some people watching who don't believe that humans have a big impact on the climate, but I believe they do. I have good reason to believe they do, and if you don't, I suggest you read some of those. I'll post something in my chat after to help you know what articles to read. But the idea is they can create these new technologies, well, expensive. Some of them aren't even new. We know they exist. Expensive technologies for themselves in order to help them survive in an environment that's destroyed, high water levels and whatnot, harder to breathe. They can create technologies to make it easier for them while also selling us access to those things while allowing others who can't afford it to die. No different than the way healthcare works today. That's why that's a big deal. And like I said, this is an ideology that is called Tescriel, Tescoc. So I can show you guys, and you guys can do your own research. There it is. Tescriel. It's a real ideology. And if we just do a little Google search, billionaires. These don't look like academic sources, but the idea is, yes, people know that there are billionaires out there who are part of this agenda. And the Tescriel agenda is basically to leave humanity behind. They think well, basic humanity behind as they ascend it. They think it's their obligation to ascend the current limits of humanity. And even if that means letting a lot of people die, they think that's the only way to ascend into the stars or something. It's a sci-fi idea, and it's really cruel. And I'm not for it. Yo guys shouldn't be for it. And the idea that there's some billionaires out there, I'm not going to say which ones right now because I don't want to missay it. And it looks like none of these are academic sources, but there are. I'm pretty sure Peter Thiel is the only one I can really think at the top of my head. Definitely, I've heard associations with Test Grill and is on the record saying ideas from Test Grill blatantly, and he's still getting paid lots of money by people investing in his things. Not from people like us, hell no, from rather rich people who aren't worried about these things. He's the guy in charge of like private surveillance and things. I'm almost done, guys, and then I'll read chat and stuff. Sorry if this is boring, but to me this is important, and I want things to be more structured like this. I used to have a concept for a solution that I called the engine protocol. I still think it could work, but the reason why I don't think it's correct anymore is because the more I realize is it's a solution that relies on distributed effort, and that's not fair. And it's honestly not manageable without a centralized and like management, and that's kind of why I'm refocusing to the whole media network and platforming vertically aligned voices, because the idea is to create a spark of genius, or to restore hope to the genius who can help us create tangible ideas to solve this that go beyond the engine protocol. Things that we can do with legislation or to leverage our rights. There's a lot of answers we don't have, but what I'm good at is talking about the problems using forensic evidence to point out how a lot of these things seem like intentional transfers of wealth, and talk about ideologies that are dangerous for the working class future. And we want to platform and help be a workshop for the people who have strong ideas, okay? So email me at ethan@verticalwar.com if you have a good idea, you know how to help this, you want to write, you want to tell me what to write, what to research, what to figure out to help us find a solution. That's where we're at. Because the engine protocol works, but it relies on creating an alternative system of economy, which is insane. And it's happened before in our past, but only when it was absolutely necessary, which usually when that happens, that means nobody likes how hard it is to create. When people only do it when absolutely necessary. So, yes, I am platforming people. I hope you guys have read Resistant Rabbit's first piece. Like I said, it says it's paid. I said earlier, it says it's paid, but it's not. Most of it's free. I think the paywall starts here. And it's a good example of how language can be used to unite or divide us, and how we're not conscious enough about how we use it or the use cases for it. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what it's about. You should read it. It's very good. We have another author who's going to be writing soon. He's called Science Fire Tongue. He's got some awesome stuff. You guys might know him as Anthony. I wrote with him on something before. And yeah, my Friday article is going to have the video that goes with it, and I'm going to try some other multimedia stuff that goes with it. It's going to be longer. And I think that's the end of my presentation. I'm going to look at the chat again. All right. What's up, guys? I'm not used to this like professional stuff. Whoops. Big can. I want to do big can. 1 second. And then I want to bring up. One second. There's the chat. Yeah, so what do you guys think? I'm ready for some input or ideas, if you think. Or you're confused, maybe. All the paid subscribers so far, thank you so much. That's how I afforded this webcam, which is a lot better. I think it looks so much better. And it's not even in 4K yet because I have the shitty PC. So it can be even better. And the PC's coming in like a week or so. And because of you guys, I could afford that. Hello. What would be a better format, Diego? Because now that I'm doing a longer format, I have time to like create like you could say alternative, I don't know, bullet point sources or whatnot. Just have alternative ways of doing things. So if you could tell me what would be an easier way of ingesting the information now that I'm doing one article a week, it'll be easier for me to send it. Oh, also, I'll be doing more than one article a week, but I'm only doing one focused article a week. So there might be some here and there that I realize connect dots, and I've had ideas to repost old things that could be done better. But Mojo, there's evidence that the CO2 emissions have a lot to do with it. If you want to show me evidence that it doesn't have to do with CO2, that would be counter to my idea, because I think that it's the fossil fuel use that they're pushing right now. A few years ago, they promised they wouldn't use too much energy until the AI industry promised they wouldn't use too much energy until nuclear energy became clean. But just recently, they stopped that promise and they ramped up the fossil fuel usage, and there's more CO2. That's what I'm concerned about. Arlene, my live tonight was an official presentation of how I'm shifting to one focused article a week is going to be a lot longer with more dynamic content, meaning there will be a video too. And I'm hoping that I can create more formats for people to digest the information. And I'm also trying to platform more authors while also being a broadcast signal for people who have solutions for fixing the way our political system works. Because there's too much money involved, and I'm not sure how to fix it with legislation. And I have a platform that I can maybe try to help positive change if you have good ideas. Yeah, CO2 is necessary for plant growth, but there is a ratio of CO2 to oxygen levels that have changed a lot throughout history. And we know about this because of archaeology, and I know about this because I'm a nerd and I watch a lot of videos about dinosaurs and stuff. Yeah, of course, we need CO2, but it's the ratio. The more CO2 we have, and I'm not saying the world's gonna end or anything, it's just harder to live in, and it's gonna be hotter. And CO2 is necessary for plant growth, and it's bad for the atmosphere. Thank you, Resistance Rabbit. Too much is bad for the atmosphere. Excuse me. But yeah, that's not research. If you could show me a research of evidence that maybe, because I am open to research, empirical evidence, please. Yeah, lobbying should be illegal, but then there's people who want to say it's freedom of speech. And yeah, all the company's doing is hiring somebody to spend money on politicians in the White House. What's wrong with that, right? Sup, Chip? Anybody just tuning in now, watch the VOD, the recording after, because I did a presentation about how my content's shifting a little bit. And it was a mouthful, so I don't really... Basically, just look forward to Friday. That'd be my big article. Thanks, Mojo. I've talked about deforestation when I talked about black stone. Not black rock, black stone. But I have not focused on it recently. I should bring it up again. There's a lot of issues to bring up. I could touch on it. The way I like to talk about those issues is I bring it up while discussing a big company's effect on the working class. My focus is on how things affect the working class. And believe it or not, deforestation can affect the working class. So I'll think of it's a good point. Yeah, because Blackstone destroys the Amazon. And even if you don't care about the or think it's an environment thing, because come on, why would you want to destroy the fucking Amazon? Like, that's cool. It's like the coral reefs. People are like, oh, we don't need those. It's like, so what? They're fucking cool. Elections should be paid for by government. No outside advertising. Over. I think it should be paid for by constituents. And one of my allies in my inner circle, we talk about things. We have a little group chat. He has an idea for donations only to come from constituents and for them to be a cap by constituents. So maybe one person can have more donations than another, but it's only based on actual support, if that makes sense. Because I'm not here to totally change the whole fucking thing if I don't have to. Like, goddamn, but I will if we need to. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want a crazy revolution. I want to make it as easy as possible for us to change these things. I'll be going on for 10 more minutes so I can make this a clean 45-minute live stream video. So has anybody thought about maybe writing? Does anybody want to write? I never thought I'd be a writer. I kind of just treated this like a journal. A lot of people have thoughts. I could help teach you how to put it down. Oh, cool. I'll start, I'll look at, Diego, send me an email so I don't forget. And I'll try on sharing it. I'm sure it aligns. If it doesn't align, I'll leave a comment. But if it does, I'll share it. That's fair, D newcomer. I'm just thinking about how to keep growing because I always have a little extra money thanks to the paid subscribers, and I hold on to it because I want to put it back into the business. Because the way that I've been advertising paid subscriptions is help me do this full time and build something for everybody, and I'm trying. Any other ideas about how I can spend the money, guys? You got audio chops? Does that mean that my maybe refresh? Fair enough, Diego. Fair enough. Yeah, because I definitely do have a lot of ideas, and they involve people that I don't have access to yet, or like talent, skills that I don't have. You know. Cool, Arlene. Yeah, I think the environment's important. Yeah, well, even if you don't, I'm under the impression that it's beautiful, so we should protect it anyway. Oh, Susan, that means a lot. You help me know how to explain things to others and steer them directly here so they can get it straight from you. Well, I do think I'm better than some pundit. I think that there's talented people out there too who are saying the right things, and I keep on looking for them, trying to reach out to them. It's not just me, there's no superhero here. I'm just focused. And I'm very honest about needing more answers. This is going to be a team effort, multiple people with parts of the puzzle coming together. Active on another platform, I think I use Instagram the most, I think, out of all the other ones, but I definitely use Substack like way the most. Um, but yeah, Instagram and I have an X. Yeah, I think they're both linked on my profile, on my Substack profile. And I have plans to expand to other. I kind of want to try Rumble. Oh yeah, I have a YouTube too. I forget I have a YouTube. I don't know if it's linked. But yeah, after this stream, I'll send some links to the articles where I talk about why the climate change is important to pay attention to, and then I'll also send some links to my socials so you can access them. I'm gonna leave in 5 more minutes, you guys. I highly recommend you guys read Resistant Rabbit's latest article because you're gonna see more of him and other people coming out. Like all the authors I allow to write for me, I spend some time to get to know them, and I make sure that they're aligned and they see and they're patient with the ideas that might be some disagreements with the comments. I really respect and trust these guys, and I like what they write. I agree, D newcomer. We really have to unify Americans, all of us together. Collaboration is the reason we're on top of the food chain. It's our greatest tool, and we're not using it. When we use that, we are an unstoppable truth. It's beautiful. That is what I'm trying to do. I don't know exactly how to fix it, but I know it's going to need us to unify. Absolutely. And that's pretty much what I try to embody, is knowing that our enemy is the same. And it's not who the politicians point at. Good on ya, Arlene. The freaking little coral left needs it. Gunfire in downtown. Oh no, more gun violence. That sucks. Yeah, I really like this new camera, huh? My hair looks a little funny, but so yeah, anybody in the audience who, I'm about to wrap up, so I'm gonna send my email again one more time. Want to send me a message about something you want me to talk about, a tip, or you want to help any sort of way, send me a message at that email so I won't miss it. Yeah, Arlene, I'll read it, and if it's as simple as you say it is, I don't know why I wouldn't sign it. That sounds fine. That I'm all down for that. Yolanda, you're late. I'm about to finish. You guys can watch the recording. I said some important stuff at the beginning. Oh yeah, I saw other streamers do this. I may as well do it too. I don't know if it works. Where is it? Yeah, if you guys wanna help me out, little coffee button, there you go. Definitely don't feel obligated. I just thought it was funny because I saw other streamers do it. Don't feel obligated if you don't got any money. I just think it's funny. Yes, Ethan at verticalwar.com. I'll type it again too. Yes, I cut my beard. I don't want to surprise y'all. Someone else might have said it, but you're the first one I saw mention it. You know, I can put it on the screen. I'll put it on the screen. I think I can do that. I have no idea how it flipped over. That looks so funny. I'm just gonna pull up Notepad. I have no idea how that happened. What the heck? How do I make it bigger? There we go. Technical difficulties. That's my email. And I'll send it in the chat to my subscriber chat after. All right, I'm done, guys. This is me wrapping up. That's why it's slow if anyone's joining. It was good to hang out. I don't work a lot tomorrow. I might surprise you guys with a unplanned casual stream. And again, look out for the recording for this one. This one was not a casual stream. I had a lot to say for the first half hour. So look for the recording. Bye, guys.